Hello everyone, it's Natasha here from Treasure Books. So I wanted to share something with you today. When I first started on my journey of making junk journals, when I first discovered it, I guess, I would watch all of these videos and tutorials and I'll see ideas on Pinterest and my head would be full of ideas of all the things that I want to do and put into my journals. And then when I actually would sit down to make a journal, I wouldn't know what to do. My head is empty and I have no idea where to begin. I often felt really overwhelmed of all of the things that I could do, but I wasn't sure what I should do or what comes first and where I should start and when I should end, where I should end, I guess. So what I did to make the process easier for myself, and I'm going to share that with you, is I made a junk journal checklist. So basically this is just a checklist of all of the different things that can go into my journal, and it's sort of organized in different sections. So I will go through what's on this checklist. It will be down below for you to download as well, for you to use. And then I will also show you, because when we go through some of the things, you might not know exactly what it is. So I've got some examples here of those things on the checklist. So then I'll go through with that too, so that you know what I'm talking about, kind of thing. So the way that I use this myself is, I don't actually use it anymore because I've been making journals for a long time now and I know exactly what I want to do and what I can put in. So this is really good for somebody who's just starting out, who felt the way I felt, overwhelmed, and even people who make journals all the time. They might find this inspiring, and they might like this idea of having something to check. I'm that kind of person. I like to tick things and tasks and stuff like that. So all right, let's begin. So the first section is cover of the journal, and I'll just go through the sections and then we can go through individually. So first I've got cover on the journal and things that I can possibly put on the journal. The next stage of things to look at is an assortment of paper. And these are all different types of papers that you can use and that you can put inside a junk journal. You don't have to, right? Then the next step is, once you've chosen all of your pages that are going into your junk journal, you then can do decorating pages. So these sort of things, most of these things I'm pretty sure I actually do before binding the journal. So, torn edges and inking edges and cutting corners and sewing on page and stamping and stuff, all of this really is best done before binding your signatures into the book, because then it's much easier to work on just a flat piece of paper like this rather than a whole book, And I see this question asked a lot on the groups. Do you embellish the pages first or do you bind into the book? So most of my work, I will embellish and decorate the pages, bind the signature into the book, and then I'll do, other bits and pieces. I'll add things. So the next stage after decorating is, adding 2 pages. So the way that I see it is, decorating pages is something that's like stuck on the page. So sewing, it's on the page. Adding 2 pages is adding things that can be removed and taken off. So for example, not necessarily all of these things can be removed. Like a belly band, you're adding it to the page. You probably are not going to be removing it, but the belly band is added to the page and then you're adding something into the belly band. Does that make sense? That's the way I see it. And that's this section, adding 2 pages. There's all these different things that you can go and add to your pages. And then last, I just have miscellaneous and other. And there's only a few little things that I've got here. Now, this is definitely not an exhaustive list. I will keep adding to this list, and you can too, obviously, when you print yours out. And so the way that I would use this is, I have, for example, the name of my journal that I'm working on. Let's say bird journal. And then I'll go tea-dyed paper, tick. Scrapbook paper, tick, etc. And then the next journal is flow journal, tick, tick, etc. So I hope that's making sense. So now I would like to go through what's on this list, and then show you examples if you're not exactly sure what that is or whatever, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've got the cover. Now, I didn't write absolutely every single little thing down because then the list would be too long. So, for example, I didn't write, you know, what you're using for the cover. If it's going to be fabric, if it's going to be hardboard, like you choose that sort of thing. I'm talking about more embellishing and how I would embellish and what I would add to the journal. So, for example, we've got, first off, tassels, beads, or charms and spine. These are the beads. Tassels, I think you know what tassels are. Things like this. Charms, you know, charms hanging off there. Like, that's just an idea. Like, you can have really anything hanging off there that you want. Wooden elements. So, by that, I mean, so for example, I have my little box of all this stuff. This is one of my boxes, and then there's these little wooden elements. That's what I mean by wooden elements. Okay, next thing is closure. So I will do a video because this was also one of my areas where I always used to get stuck, is what kind of a closure. So there are many different types of closure, and I'm just going to show you a few ideas that I have here. So I have this type of closure. And then we have on this journal, this type of closure. It's one of those, I think they're called crocodile clips for jewelry making. And I've got some ribbon there. That's the type of closure. Then this, I believe, is called wraparound closure. So you can see this ribbon is running all the way around. Then on this journal, I've got this type of closure. This is a bulldog clip. It's stuck on here. And that's keeping the journal closed. This is, I'm just making this so it's not finished. It's a flap closure, and then I'm going to have something to close. So anyway, those are just some ideas for closure. Buttons, applique, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's this sort of stuff, you know. Beads or buttons on binding. So I'll show you an example of beads. This is pretty amazing. This is Jenny Belly inspired. When you put beads onto the actual binding, or buttons. I don't have any journals at the moment with buttons. They've all sold. But you know, when you're binding the journal, before you go, if you come out with your needle this way, and then before you go into the next hole, you would put some beads, and then you'd go into the next hole, or buttons, and then you'll have beads or buttons on the binding. Metal corners, pretty self-explanatory. That's metal corners there. Book plate. Anything can be a book plate. I have a tutorial on making book plates. I will link that down below. But these are just some here, like there. That's a book plate. Okay, let's keep going. I don't want to be here all day. Assortment of paper, you can have a look through that. So we've got tea-dyed, scrapbook, book pages, music pages, dictionary pages, tracing paper, baking paper, wallpaper, acetate pages. I don't know if that's what they're called, but that's what I'm calling them. It's these. This is an acetate page. I don't know what to call it. So it's like a dashboard. So you can stick little sticky notes on there, or it's just, yeah, I like that at the front of the journal. So that's what I mean by acetate page. Wrapping paper, ledger paper, coloring book pages. I love to include coloring book pages because they look so good like this, and it can be something to, you know, for the person to color or for you to color. This is ledger paper. Let's keep going. So wrapping paper, ledger paper, coloring book, paper doilies, paper bags for pockets and things. Decorating pages, stenciling. Okay, I'll show you an example of stenciling. Let's just open anywhere. Here we go. That's stenciling. Let's do another one because I think I explained before how I managed to get that stencil. Here we go. Stenciling. So it's just a stencil that you have. You put it over the top of your page, and then you go over it with your ink, with your, what's it called? You know, one of these inking. Yeah, that is stenciling on pages. Torn edges. So for example, in this journal I'm making now, you can see here how beautiful a torn edge actually looks. So you can do that. Inking edges, corner cut pages. So this is what I mean. All these corners have been cut. Border punch edges. Let's see over here. See that? That's border punch edge. Sewing on paper. So I do a lot of sewing, like things like this, adding ruffles and, you know, see here. So sometimes I just like to go and sew on the paper before I put stuff in, or I will actually sew to serve a purpose, like for example sewing this lace down. Stickers. Let's see. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't have to really show you that. Stickers, fussy cut images, quote stickers. So I have, here we go. Good things take time. That's just an example. I also have another video where I've shared a freebie of these sorts of quote and saying stickers. So I will also link that video down below so you can download that too if you like. Quote sticker, stamping on pages, you know, stamping. There's another sticker like that, stamping. Postage stamps, you adding postage stamps, washi tape, embossing, transfer, rub-ons. Let me just show you. I think it's in this one here. No, I've put these because I want to. Oh, here we go. Transfers and rub-ons. You know, you can buy that sort of thing. Where was I? Okay, next page. Flip outs, flip ups, and flip downs. All right, so this over here, this little pocket, that's a pocket. And this is a flip up. Okay, then over here we've got stenciling. I've showed you. This is a flip down. So we've got flip up, flip down, and flip out. I've got a example here. Here's an envelope, and that's a flip out. Anything can be a flip out. You can put it on the edge of the larger, you know, and flip out another page or an envelope, or, you know, that sort of thing. Flip out. Paper clips, altered paper clips. So here we've got a ribbon paper clip that I've altered, put some ribbon on. Or over here we have this sort of thing, altered paper clip, and it adds so much beauty to the page. Okay, paperclip, charms, tags, you know, lace, eyelash trim, that's eyelash trim here, journaling cards, belly bands. So belly band is a strip of paper. You can decorate it, embellish in all sorts of different ways, and then so you have a strip of paper here, and then something can tuck behind it. That's a belly band. Doily tucks. I'll show you what a doily tuck is. Here we go. So I have a doily that's folded in half, put over the top of the page, and held down with the little paper clip, and that's a tuck. So you can tuck something in there. Okay, doily tucks, glassine bags, envelopes. I'll show you the envelope you can flip out, or you can sew it into the binding, into the journal too. So you would have to open it up. Pockets, corner flip up pockets. I've shown you that. That's this here, corner flip up pocket. And this is Yvonne Preston all the way, definitely. Mini booklet. Here we go. I've got a box full of little things. This is when I'm in a funk, when I'm feeling like I've lost my mojo, I make things like this that I can add to journals. So all of these are little mini books that I've made that can then go into pockets. And it's so much fun, and they look so good inside a journal. So that's a mini booklet. Napkins, or serviettes, I think they're called. Those pretty this sort of stuff. That can go in a journal. You can use it in collaging and gluing on pages, or adding it into the binding. Okay, tabs. Look at all of the tabs here. So maybe you can't see very well. So here we go, tab there, and then we've got another tab here, and then we've got another tab here. And I just love the look of tabs. This one doesn't have tabs, but it's got a lot of book jewelry, like charms and things. So they almost act like little tabs too. Okay, tabs. So we can have washi tape as a tab, you can do just paper as a tab, or you can do fabric. So in this instance, I've done a little bit of leather as a little tab. Fabric collages and scraps. I do have one to show you. They look amazing on any journal, and they add so much interest. So here, I'll just move this out of the way a little bit. Here on this one, you can see I've got stenciling on this page. We've got sewing on this page. And then up here in this corner is this tiny little fabric scrap cluster, held down with a brad. But I've actually glued it down after I put the brad through, and then I just glued it down so that the brad isn't showing on the other side. And they decorate so much, they look beautiful. And it's a way to use up your little scraps that you have lying around everywhere. And you can even do it with paper, you know, making little clusters. That's what I should add, clusters. Okay, then we've got flowers. I love adding flowers. Postage stamps here. There's that acetate paper, paper clips. There's a little flower. There, I've got a lot more here, and I think you've seen in that flip up pocket, flowers, that sort of thing. And I love to add them everywhere, stamping here. Okay, ruffled ribbon. I always add that to my journal because I just love the look of it. And now when I'm looking for one, I can't find one. Here we go, ruffled ribbon right there. Plain cards, CD sleeves, bows, bling. By bling, I mean, man, I have a full box of blingy stuff that I'm not going to pull it out now, but like, let's just say, for example, I've sewn these on. That's bling. Or, you know, like little bling on pages. That's bling. Little brad there. That sort of thing. Buttons. You can pop them out, especially if they're really flat buttons. You can pop them down anywhere. Flowers. Hearts on a string in the middle of a signature. Oh, and look, I don't have any here, but I'm sure if you have been making journals for a little while, I'm sure that you've seen what that is. But let's just see. No, I'm not having any luck. So here, instead of the little flowers, so what it is, you have middle of the signature, and then in these, this is the middle of the signature, and then you have this here from your binding, and then you can stick little hearts, little cutout hearts on the edges, so that looks quite nice. But here, instead of the hearts, look what I did. I put a little tag in, a little floating tag. That's pretty cool. Where's my checklist? Okay, hearts on string, quotes from books. Yes, I'm pretty sure that you have seen that when I was flipping through these pages. You know, you can buy these little books from op shops and thrift stores. And then what I do, this is a belly band. See what I mean? Belly band. And this is a book that has all sorts of different quotes and sayings. And I rip it out and I ink the edges, and look how cool that is. It's pretty cool. So that sort of thing you can add to your junk journals. And last page, we've got miscellaneous and other. You can, you know, go crazy with this. There's so much more really that can go. First of all, let's say here we've got bulldog clips. That's not on the list. We've got some of these little bells that can go on tassels and things like that. That's pretty cool. And then things like this. and safety pins with seed beads. That's this. That can go on little pockets and covers, and I'm going to put one somewhere here. Bulb pins with charms. So I'll just show you over here. I've got a full box of bulb pins. These are silver ones, and then there's black ones, and then there's gold ones, and I've seen people put them on tags and then adding little charms. So I could put that on my tag over here. You can't really see. And then add little charms. So, or even, you know, that can go like on the spine and etc. Anyway, so as I said, this list is definitely not all there is to do, but it's a starting point, and then you can add your own things. So I just wanted to quickly flip through this journal that I made a little while ago and show you. I guess I've already shown you some of the stuff, but just so you can see how it flows when it's actually inside a journal. So this is a big, massive one. I think it's got 5 signatures. Let's begin. Acetate page, and then we've got this flip up here, and then we've got stamping and ruffles and doily tuck. Live your dreams out loud. That's one of the sticker quotes that you can download and print out onto sticker paper. This is a sticker as well. This is actually a stamp that I've stamped onto sticker paper and cut it out. Here's a little envelope that I made on my little envelope machine. This is pages from a book. This is a stamp. We've got dictionary page, doily. Look how cool this looks. So cool. And then little things like this. Here's an idea. Like, what would you call this? I have no idea. It's a scrap piece of paper, and I've just put a little bit of eyelash trim here and a little bit of calico. It's all scraps, and it looks beaut in this little pocket here. So we've got a little tag there on the page, and then we've got some stenciling, stamping, and the back of that acetate page, scrapbook paper, another sticker, pocket with things stuffed in there. This is that one of the quotes from a book that I just ripped out. I'll just show you right over here. So I found this little book for $1 at Salvation Army, and look, right? And I just rip it out, ink it, and it goes into, you know, to embellish, it goes onto my pockets and etc. And it's awesome, I think. Okay, this is a stamp. Lace. Let's keep going. Wrapping paper. Looks pretty cool inside a journal. Music page. So you can see all the different types of pages I've used. Tea-dyed paper with stenciling. Pocket. Journaling spot. This is a stamp. I'm not going to keep talking about everything because I'm losing my breath. This is a little pocket with more journaling spots or places to journal. Belly band you've already seen. Here's a little tab idea. It's just a heart, a little heart thing on the side. Here's some washi tape here. What's the word? Strengthening the spine of this particular page. Reinforcing is the word I'm looking for. Bling. Ta-da! Bling. Right there. Look at that. I'm not going to show you this because I want to actually make a video on it. Stencil. I made this stencil myself. So I just printed an image from Google and then cut it out of one of these acetate pages. And now, look at that. I got a stencil that I can use. This is baking paper. It looks really cool, and all junk journals make awesome crinkling noise. Here's that little envelope flip out and doily tuck and all sorts of little things that I just love looking through. And I made this journal maybe a year ago. I actually made 5 of them, and life is beautiful. They've all sold, and I've held on to this one because I love it. It's beautiful. But I think I'll probably sell this one too. Sometimes I look through it because it gives me ideas. Here's another stencil that I made. Image from Google. This is a rub-on. This is tracing paper. All of these things are on that list. This is, I saw, I think she's called Dolly Girl. Dolly. Oh God, I can't remember. Used to watch all of her videos. She was making those. Journaling spot. This is a scrapbook page that I made into like little envelopes right there in the middle of the signature. Okay, let's keep going. Little tag, little stamp that says inspire. Another one of those doily tucks. And this, let's just stop and admire this beautiful thing. It's a postcard, and I've made journals with that on the cover too, which I've now, I think I've sold all of those. Anyhow, so today's a great day. That's again one of those printouts. This is a book in German. This is, I think, Vietnamese exercise book. Stamping, little heart tab, wrapping paper, ledger paper, sticker stenciling, tag, a little embellishment piece here. So really, if you look around on your little crafting area, this is a bow that's also on the list. If you look around in your little crafting area, you'll see all of these beautiful things. I'm not going to turn this page because it's got my phone number. I'll just cover it. Yeah, so anything can go into a junk journal. The problem is, this is actually a rub-on. The problem is, once you sit down and you say to yourself, right, I've got an hour to dedicate now to making a journal, and you sit down and you look at your stuff and you look around you and you're like, I have no idea where to start. Hopefully, after seeing this video and after downloading the checklist, you will now have no issues starting and making an amazing piece of art. Yeah, so that's it from me today. I think I've mentioned everything. Thank you so very much for watching this video. This is my way of saying thank you to everyone that subscribes to me and watches my videos. Just sharing sort of how I've come to this level of making books. And yeah, I wish everyone would find joy in it. So yes, anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.